It's been a pretty tough year, really. You know, it started off pretty poor, lots of reliability issues, and then we got disqualified for 3 races. So it was looking pretty poor at the start of the year, and then we got to Canada, put it on pole. Again, it was looking slightly positive, and then I put it in the wall. But from then on, it's been really good. You know, we've really improved the car. Since Manicourt, we've scored points in every race. Out of the car, I've carried a little bit more responsibility than maybe at McLaren, because my teammates are younger, less experienced of F1. A lot of the people here have not been part of a race-winning or championship-winning team. So, you know, I guess a bit more responsibility, but ultimately I try and focus primarily on my domain, which is to try and drive the car as quickly as possible. It's disappointing in a way that we haven't got the pace, but it's also... There have been also some very positive parts of the year. Obviously, me signing with the team for short-term future, which is good, and also Honda, you know, buying the whole team, owning 100% of the team, which is a big positive, and I think it's really going to give everyone a big push over the winter and to make a car that's competitive and challenging for race wins. We've achieved more. Certainly scored more points than the team did in previous years. So obviously that's partly due to the efforts of those who are no longer involved but were there in the Jaguar days, and obviously down to the new management and technical staff that are giving direction for the team for the future. So the real key now will be to see just how the team performs next season.
How do you feel he's responded to being the sort of father figure in that Red Bull team, looking after the kids?
I think he's done a tremendous job. I really do. He's stepped out of McLaren, taken the experience what he had there, and he's got 2 guys underneath him in Clean and Lutzi, and he's shown them what it's all about. And you have to say he's the figurehead of that team. He has proved the value of that word experience. Everyone wants young chargers these days, but people who know their way around, they're worth their weight in gold. Oh, definitely so, Jim. I mean, and David's got a lot of experience, and Grand Prix wins under his belt as well. You won't buy that, you know, without having somebody down the pit lane with those credentials. You're not going to get the results. And what about Jenson Button after his terrific season last season? What is he, 9th in the individual championship? He won't be pleased with this year at all, will he? It's going to be a little bit of a disappointment for him, because he had such a strong season last year, so, you know, standing on the podium several times. But at the same time, you have to really think about the amount of pressure that he's been under, and for him to still keep producing strong results in qualifying and certainly in the races, you've got to still be impressed with the guy with his mental framework. You feel that tug of war between Williams and BAR Honda then affected Jenson this season? Well, I think it has affected him, but I also am mightily impressed that he's been able to drive round it. But ultimately, you can't keep performing at 100% with that in the back of your mind. He likes this place, but he could do with a bit more grunt, couldn't he, in that car? He could do with a bit more grunt, and he could do with a chassis what's consistent enough for him to keep pushing lap after lap, so he gets a car underneath him for the whole duration of the race. Cheers, Mark. Thank you very much indeed.